Welcome to Cigars and Coffee. I am one of your hosts, James. Joining me, as you can see, to my right, it's Tim.
Am I always on the right?
The last two times.
I think I'm always on the right. Now that we're getting back together, I'm always on the right.
You were on the left before.
Was I on the left before? But was that on Zoom?
So when we would record back there, we're at David's
Yes.
Fine Tobacco in, is this West Des Moines?
I think so.
I think it's West Des Moines.
West Des Moines, Clive, Urbandale, Windsor Heights, they all run together.
Yeah.
This is West Des Moines, I believe.
Great place. We've been here before. You can check out the review of David's Fine Tobacco at simplystogies.com. Just go to reviews, lounge reviews, and David's Fine Tobacco, I believe, is the last lounge review we've done.
Yeah.
Because of the Rona. Yeah. But we're back. We're doing reviews. We're doing all kinds of stuff. We got things coming out on the website soon. We've had a couple of reviews land this week. One pipe review, one cigar review. We'll have a gear review coming up. It's not even really a review. It's more of a essentials gear, like what you need, what you should get. Staff picks, if you will. So check that out, simplystogies.com. Tim, how have you been, buddy? It's been the last one we did, you actually edited.
I did. How did that turn out? Did you get to watch it yet?
I haven't watched it yet. So I'm just assuming.
Neither is anybody else.
Like if nobody watches this one, I'll just assume that it's yours that turned everybody off.
I have no doubt in my mind that is highly accurate.
As I blow smoke in your face.
That's all right. I never laid a claim to fame to be able to edit video worth of shit. I do know that I was using iMovie, and I'll never do that again.
Yeah, no, you should probably talk a little bit louder. As I'm watching the thing here, you're down here, you're doing this.
Am I? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I'll try to talk a little bit louder. I can hear myself. See, you're not wearing the headphones.
I'm not wearing headphones. Again, I'm just letting Tim do all the heavy lifting today. So we're here at David's Fine Tobacco. Let's talk about what we're smoking, and we'll talk about what we're drinking. I am smoking a My Father Connecticut Robusto. I just ordered 5 of these in the Toro size. I really like these. I think these are a great morning smoke. It's light. It's flavorful. My Father's solid. It's always solid. This is a solid morning smoke. Tim, what are you smoking?
Well, I seem to pick things that I'm not familiar with or don't know how to pronounce. But what is this? The Sobremesa? Burley? Come on, give it to me.
Yeah, that's close enough.
I've never had it.
Sobremesa, I believe.
Yeah, so I saw it. I figured I'd give it a try. Robusto.
Brulee. So here's the thing. I want to talk about this real quick because you're smoking it. Steve Saka says that is not a sweet tip. It's not sweetened at all. Tim?
I know nothing about this cigar other than I've seen this band before.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen it before, and when I walked into the humidor, I'm like, I'm going to pick out 3 cigars that I've never had before.
Is it a sweetened tip?
Once I put it in my mouth, I was like, this is a sweetened tip. And then you said, well, I wasn't going to say anything, but it's not. And it did kind of die down quite fast.
It does die down. So Steve Saka says it's not sweetened. He just put out a sampler, the STFU sampler.
Shut the
freak
up.
Fuck up sampler.
Yep.
Because he says that they're not sweet. I think there's a little bit on there.
Was it is it 5 different blends? Like I read a little blurb about the STFU.
It's 5 different. I don't care. I don't see. Here's the thing.
I'm not going to spend the money for it.
If you like a cigar, you like the cigar. If it's sweetened tip, it's a sweetened tip. If it's a lightly sweetened tip, it's a lightly sweetened tip.
Mm-hmm.
What does it matter? If you like it, smoke it.
True story.
So now that all of the pleasantries are over, we've talked about what we're smoking. Let's talk about what we're drinking. Lounge coffee.
Yeah.
Here at David's Fine Tobacco, it's out of a Keurig.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of ranges. I guess it depends on the lounge you go to. Some lounges have cappuccino makers, coffee makers, espresso makers, like the whole 9 yards. Some have a Keurig. Some have a coffee pot, just a regular coffee pot that's for their regular for the VIP, for the regulars.
Mm-hmm.
Here, complimentary coffee via the Keurig.
The Keurig. Colombian's finest.
Is that what it is? Did you look?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's a little, what do they call them? K-cups?
K-cups.
Yep. Yeah, a little Colombian K-cup that you put in there, hit the button. Super easy, super fast. Super good, actually.
It is pretty good. And it pairs well with this My Father Connecticut. How's it pair with that sweetened tip brulee.
You're just going to keep going on the sweetened tip. It's good. I like it. The coffee's good.
If he
Cigar's
hadn't
good.
put out a sampler called the STFU sampler, I wouldn't care.
You got to imagine that is just one hell of a marketing ploy.
It is a marketing ploy. And I've talked about this, I think, on Simply Stogie's podcast. I think we've talked about this on Patreon. Like, when is enough with these limited editions and these marketing schemes? Warped has the drop. Mm-hmm. I hate the drop.
That's okay. So don't get me wrong. I like the limited edition stuff. I like to see what people are experimenting with. But what stinks is that they drop it. Occasionally, it is something that's really good, and then you can't get it anymore. What's like for me? It's like, why bother getting something that you can't continually keep in stock if it's good?
I think part of it is the FDA. They're trying to get things in before the substantial equivalent, which
I thought that got shut down.
Some of it did, and some of it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I was going to actually do part of the podcast, this next podcast on that,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't care. I don't think it's going to come about. I think the FDA is pretty much dead in the water at this point when it comes to what they want to do with cigars. I might be wrong, but I think that one of the judges took most of the teeth out of what they wanted to do.
Right.
No?
But I just so they threw out the CRA. They threw out a couple emails. I saw Cigar Aficionado threw out a couple of emails. I flipped through them real quick. The headline pretty much told me everything I wanted to know. We're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think we are going in the right direction. Glenn Loop, the soon-to-be outgoing executive director of the CRA, actually had a write-up in the PCA magazine, online magazine, where he talked about, well, things are moving in the right direction right now. Next year's a different story, and so we have to start getting ready for that.
True.
And I think you and I have talked about this. I honestly think it's more local than it is federal. I think we have to worry more about what local municipalities and local communities are going to do, how they want to regulate cigars and tobacco than we do the federal government. The FDA doesn't really have a whole lot of teeth, and unless Congress passes something, I don't see the FDA being able to do anything that they want to do with cigars and premium hand-rolled cigars and pipe tobacco anytime in the near future. Mm-hmm. But local communities, your state and local governments, they do have teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And we are starting to see a lot of flavored tobacco go to the wayside, and it gets thrown in there with
It gets
with
all
vaping.
lumped together, yeah.
I mean, I think vaping is the bigger issue among younger
among younger people, but
the young folk.
the young, they're going to try to lump everything. If it's nicotine, it's tobacco. If it's a nicotine-based product, it's tobacco. We're going to lump it all into the same set of rules and laws, just because then there's no questions asked. There's no, well, this fits into this category, and we don't want to confuse politicians.
They're confused enough.
Yeah, they are. But you do bring up a valid point, is that even if your local neighborhood or your municipality seems to encourage a hobby such as cigars, don't take that for granted, because that could change easily tomorrow. So don't let your voice be heard after the fact. Be heard before the fact. You have to be proactive and
instead
not
of
reactive.
Yeah. I think Glenn made that very same point on the last episode of Simply Stogies that he was on, saying if we had only started this 20 years ago.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
If we had done this in the 90s, if the CRA had been around in the 90s, if we had been getting in the fight then, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Yeah, you'd be 20 years ahead of the game.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that makes sense to
unfortunately,
me.
it's not the way it played out. We are where we are. But again, I don't think the FDA is going to do anything.
No, I don't. I think they're going to keep trying to regain traction, and I don't think they're going to succeed. But I'm not going to sit here and just ignore it, because that's how they succeed, is you ignore it and you just don't do anything about it. You're not you don't voice your opinion. You don't take the action necessary to say, hey, I don't like this.
So we're talking politics.
Why?
Well, that's what we're talking. This is political.
Oh, okay. All right. That's nice. Everything's political.
Everything's
nowadays.
political.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about November.
Oh, Jesus.
And let's talk about, so it's just now the beginning of September.
Mm-hmm.
And we're already seeing a ton of political ads.
Mm-hmm. Which it's nothing new.
I'm so tired of seeing political ads. You have no idea.
I've gotten to the point now where I don't mark my calendar for when is this shit going to end. I mark it for, oh, crap, it's about to begin.
Yeah. And it begins earlier every election cycle.
Mm-hmm.
It started in August. The election's not until November. Like, I don't care. I don't care.
Nope. Well, I mean,
I will care on November 4th or 3rd, whenever the election day is. Maybe 5th. I'll definitely care on the 5th.
I think no matter which way it goes, I think the history is going to repeat itself. Somebody's going to
be upset.
Somebody's going to be, pointing fingers, blaming this, lawsuits, all this crap. It's just a never-ending cycle.
And the Rona just makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
The Rona just makes it absolutely worse. We talked about this on the last Cigars and Coffee. We're going back out. We don't, die from the Rona, die from a falling tree. You get killed walking your doggy. What does it matter anymore? At some point, we're all going to die. Just, I sanitized. I think David's does a good job. I've got hand sanitizer right there on every table.
Is it citrus even? Hold on, I got to get some of this.
I'm not deep Frenching Tim.
Not everything goes the way you want it to go.
Or it does, depending on your point of view.
That smells like citrus floor water.
At least you can smell it, so you know you don't have the Rona.
That is one of the symptoms.
That is indeed one of the symptoms.
So I might have to get. Oh, I like this. The cup. Nope, not yet. Closer, almost there. I'm ready. You don't go to places.
Are you at the I'm ready stage?
Well, I somehow skipped the bottom half. I need to start over.
Wow. All right. Well, you're gonna have to pee.
I'm just saying it's kind of neat because you don't go places, get complimentary coffee, and have a cup that is coffee centric.
Let's go back to cigars. What are you getting off of that? Besides the sweetness, I'm guessing the sweetness is subsided by now.
Yeah, the sweetness has subsided now.
So what tasting notes are you getting?
Well, you know that I am horrible about tasting notes.
I know, that's why I asked.
So I figured we needed I feel like we should rename this to Let's Make Tim Look Like a Douche.
We don't, do we have to try to do that?
No, you don't.
No, okay. So what tasting notes are you getting?
Yeah, I don't know. Right. I'm just going to sit here for another hour and a half of pure silence while you wait for an answer.
I won't wait that long.
Yeah.
From the Connecticut, I'm getting some floral notes. Or maybe it's citrus. I don't know. Those two are almost interchangeable for me. As Tim goes to take another drink of coffee and realizes there's still none in there.
This is going to be an ongoing battle.
Right. There was some baking spice at the very beginning. A little bit of earth. Like a little bit of... mineral, almost.
Is it Himalayan mineral?
Himalayan sea salt. Yeah, my head's not up my ass that far. But yeah, it's pretty good so far. I like I said, I really dig these. I think these are great. If you had your druthers and you went into a lounge.
If I had my what?
Druthers. Have you never heard that?
No.
Apparently, it's just old people like me.
Well, we're just to let you know, the ticker says 10 minutes and 38 seconds. You've got about 38 seconds worth of material to use here.
It's been a long month, folks.
It has been. Well, we legitimately walk in, make our coffee, grab some cigars, and we sit down and we just go for it. We'd sit down and kind of talk about a few things to talk about first, but I guess we're just like, screw it, let's go for the hills.
Do we usually talk about what we're going to talk about?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
At least we used to back in the day, pre-Rona.
Pre-Rona, yeah.
That's going to be in the history books. It's gonna
I think we're gonna just change it from
Rona.
AD to PR pre-Rona.
It'll be BR before
For
Rona,
Rona.
and then
AR
AR
after Rona.
if that ever happens.
Who knows? Anyway, if you had your way, your druthers, you jackass.
If I had my way. All
You
right.
walked into a lounge,
All right.
cigar lounge. What kind of coffee would you want them to serve?
Oh,
Do you care?
no, I mean, I don't necessarily care. I mean, I don't want crap coffee, but the Keurig. I mean, okay, it just depends on if you go into a lounge, how many coffee drinkers do you have? If you have a lot,
I would
of
imagine most.
Okay,
Okay, look. So if you play the law of averages, cigar smoking, by and large, and I'm just generalizing, stereotyping here. It's a painting with a broad brush. White male.
okay.
That's the and usually on the older end.
All right. So basically, what you're saying is that chances are, if you're going to come into a lounge, you're going to smoke cigars. Chances are you drink coffee.
Chances
or
are you
tea
drink
or some
coffee,
sort
yeah.
of. All right.
Now
So
it's changing.
in-
I think there are a lot of young people who are smoking. There are a lot of there's a lot of ethnicities that are starting to smoke. A lot of minorities. I think that's what they used to call. I don't know what the PC term is.
I don't necessarily think they're starting to smoke. I mean, yes, some are, but
I
some
think
have.
they're-
I think it's just gaining more publicity, more focus.
Maybe, and that might be the case as well. But regardless, again, I think when you start seeing people in their mid to late 20s, that's when they typically move from soda in the morning to coffee.
Red Bull, Monster.
Red Bull, Monster. For me, it was soda.
It's time to grow up.
Right?
Grab myself a McCafe.
Ugh, don't grab a McCafe. Don't do it. Just save yourself. Save yourself the drive-through.
I guess I would be looking for, going back to your original question, I'd be looking for like a nice big bun coffee pot that I can just walk up, cup, and I don't have to sit there and grab a K-cup, put it in the thing. Oh, is there enough water? Push the button.
That
Like-
surprises me
You're
because when you go to get coffee, you get like the mocha froca bullshit frappuccino. Like that's what you get.
I do. It's typically a turtle macchiato, or
Yeah, like I said, mocha froca bullshit frappuccino.
freaking jealous. I'm not
Two
a
pumps of bullshit, please. Like, that's what you do. That's what he gets. He asks for extra bullshit every time he goes to the coffee place. 2 pumps of bullshit, please.
like a double shot of bullshit. with an extra scoop of Jack Me Up, please.
I'm so tired. This episode, I apologize. This is not. Holy shit. But that's what you do. That is exactly what you do.
All right. So if I go to a place like Caribou or Starbucks, and by the way, Starbucks I don't believe serves hot coffee anymore, because the last time somebody got me a caramel macchiato, it was like
Ice
barely
cold?
warm.
Yeah.
It wasn't ice cold. It wasn't an iced macchiato, but it was like,
Oh, you can get ice on top of the double pump of bullshit?
yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I'm not a,
Wasn't-
and I'm not a nice coffee person. I'm not a cold coffee. Like I'll do cold brew, but then I'll take a shot of cold brew with water and heat it up. But I don't expect you to understand this,
I
because
don't.
you are the basic coffee bitch.
I am a basic coffee bitch. Black, like my soul. I don't care. And this is,
It's actually good coffee.
It is good coffee.
It is good coffee. So if you're in town, you need a cigar and a coffee. The coffee here is good.
we said that before. If you're in Des Moines, this is the place to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Especially if you have a couple of friends and you want a nice, cozy little place. This is it.
No bullshit here.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
None.
The
And everyone
staff
knows
is
their
the
stuff.
staff is always friendly. Like I can't even remember, other than Habano, when I actually walked in, and as I walk in the door, I'm greeted instantly. Like that, other places, it doesn't really happen.
So I called on Wednesday, I believe, just to see, just to make
Wednesday
sure
or
that we
Thursday.
could come. For those of you who don't know, Iowa is a huge hot spot right now for the Rona.
Yeah, apparently.
Per capita, we have the highest. I think there's only 2 countries who have a higher per capita Rona rate than Iowa. I wanted to call and make sure that everything was still good because I know that they've said that bars are at 50%, restaurants are like 50%.
Yeah, it seems like the state's really targeting establishments that serve alcohol. That's kind of or at least that's what they've made it sound like the primary focus is.
But the first time that we went through this, it was they shut everything down. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make sure they were open. I wanted to make sure they were okay with us coming in with equipment, make sure they were okay with us videotaping. We've done the podcast here before. We've done Tales from the Lounge here before. We'll do a Tales from the Lounge when we're done here. Mm-hmm. And it'll be just as shitty, I promise. So,
yeah, are we doing video with Tales from the Lounge or just audio?
Just audio.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Would you rather do video too?
No, we don't need to do too much video.
No, just a little video.
Yeah, just a little.
Just the tip. How you
doing?
Going? We're like the unofficial greeters here.
Yeah,
because we're right by the door.
I like that.
Yeah.
Can we get a discount for door greeting?
I don't think so.
Ah, damn it.
So Iowa was a hot spot. So I wanted to make sure everything was, and they said, yeah, absolutely, come in. So when I came in this morning, I sat my stuff down. I have 2 bags, including this fantastic bag. This backpack, this Patagonia backpack.
So proud of that damn bag.
I am. That I got from Cigar Phil at Up Down Cigar in Chicago. I did a virtual Davidoff event with them. This backpack is...
How was that event?
It was fantastic.
Wasn't it?
It was really good. It learned a lot about tasting notes and how Davidoff blends and what they go for in their cigars. And yeah, it was a good time. What they wanted you to do is they sent a 3-pack. So there were different tiers you get. I went with the highest tier because I wanted the Patagonia backpack because I'm all about that swag. And I wanted to support Phil. Like, Phil was on the podcast. Phil Ledbetter from Up Down Cigar Chicago. He was on the podcast, so I wanted to support him. So I went with the highest tier. And they sent, in the tier that you got, they sent a 3-pack of cigars that were marked, hey, this is for the event. So you take those. I took those outside with me. I jumped on Zoom and with a hotspot because I didn't have internet yet. So it was a hotspot on my phone, used my laptop. Worked pretty well.
That's surprising, actually, because your cellular service
got better,
right? But it was bad when I came to visit.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
It was things are still screwed up in Cedar Rapids.
Actually, I don't remember if I talked to you, but I talked to somebody from even farther east than you, and they said that no. Your Cedar Rapids got hit the hardest.
Yeah.
Like, it just, there's no comparison. It's like, dang.
It was us. Yay, us. So regardless, the event was great. The 3 cigars was a 3 little Robustos. Fantastic. And you would light one. So we started with the lightest. And then instead of doing all 3, because it was a virtual event, we did 2. And we went with the 702. It was good. I only smoked the Millennium. I only smoked the one because I'm like, each one of these cigars they're a $20 cigar. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna smoke one, get about this far down on it, put it down, and then light another one.
Yeah.
And then have to try to figure out which one I'm gonna. I was like, it's fine.
As much as your taste buds want to do it, your wallet's
I
like,
wanted
don't do
it. But I didn't. But it was a great event. Afterwards, I got to talk with Phil a little bit. He, like everybody who was on there, he talked about the podcast, talked about simplystogies.com. And I think he brought up a good point. Because of the Rona, some of these forums, like Keepers of the Flame, shout out to Keepers of the Flame.
Yeah, I jumped on there.
You did, yeah.
I jumped on there. Let's see, I'm doing a box split. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm like excited for it. And then I did a lottery. That was fun. I lost.
Did you win?
No, I lost. Yeah. But it was fun to experience. I've never done that before.
I don't do lotteries.
If you don't know what it is, then just come on to the it's a Discord server and just jump on there, check it out. I actually had to scroll through like 400 years of lottery posts before I finally figured out, oh, okay, this is how it works, instead of just asking somebody.
Tim always does things the hard way.
I know, I disappoint everybody. Sorry, honey.
Yeah, but it was a good time, the event was, and he talked about how the Rona has changed his business model and how he has really embraced these forums and these online communities. And he said even when the Rona is done, when the COVID is done and it's gone away forever, that he will continue to interact and be a part of these communities. And he's a big part of Keepers of the Flame. Like, he is very active on there, and people ping him, and he's Johnny on the spot with talking to people and getting the word out with new cigars and new stuff. So big shout out to Up Down Cigars Chicago. We'll be going there in February. He invited Tim and I February for Mardi Gras.
Is that the second half of the month, I'm hoping?
I would imagine.
Or wait, no, it's the first.
It's usually it's usually the middle, like towards the end of March, for Mardi Gras.
Because isn't February 20th or something like that? Isn't that typically Nebraska Cigar
I
Fest?
don't know. I thought it was like the 15th or 16th.
I'll have to look.
Hey, if they even have a Nebraska Cigar Fest.
Touche.
Interesting. The government did say the federal government told states, hey, prepare for a vaccine as early as November. Imagine that.
Like there's been a warehouse of vaccines since 1984 just sitting there, and we got to use it pretty quick or it's going to expire.
Yeah, we'll just send this out for the Rona. So yeah, no, it was a good
Googling
event. Oh, you're Googling what?
The Nebraska Cigar Fest.
Have they announced the dates yet?
I don't know. That's what I'm gonna look it up.
I haven't heard from Stacy.
January 15th.
Yeah,
so we're good.
Yeah. Phil was kind enough to send a couple of Mardi Gras, because they throw a Mardi Gras event every year. A couple of Mardi Gras sticks that Tatawahe makes.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to trying those soon. I just ordered a box. We're just switching gears here, right and left, because that's what I do.
Yeah, why not?
I just ordered a box of Dream State.
That's right. Yeah, you told me about that.
And a fiver. I said the fiver of these. I got a fiver of Stolen Throne, Cigar Federation exclusive Oath Taker. Looking forward to those two.
Those have been been seeing a lot of people posting those Oath Takers lately.
If you haven't tried Stolen Throne, you got to try Stolen Throne. Their Crook of the Crown is amazing. It's right up Tim's alley. I'm surprised he hasn't tried one yet. Crook of the Crown, and then they've got the Argo, which I believe is a lounge exclusive somewhere. And then they have the Oath Taker, which is a Cigar Federation exclusive, and then they have the new one, the Call to Arms, which is out everywhere. And the Call to Arms is Sumatra. It's a Sumatra wrapper.
I'm learning.
I like the Sumatra wrapper a lot.
I'm a Maduro guy. In San Andreas, I love San Andreas.
I like San Andreas too.
San Andreas is good. What's that? Like, I feel like, what's that cigar? It's not the La Rubia, is it? The one that's got like the Connecticut with the Maduro or the San Andreas wrapper. Yeah, no, it ain't. It's not the La Rubia.
Is it the Project E?
No, I haven't had the Project E yet.
Project E's so good.
I know. That's what I hear.
From Epic Cigars. That is such a good cigar.
Speaking of Epic Cigars.
Yeah, you're gonna have the La Rubia review.
Yep.
I'm gonna have the Maduro review coming out here pretty quick. So we're gonna make.
La Rubia is so good.
I think we're gonna make September epic.
Epic September. I like that, Dean. If you're listening, or if you're watching, actually,
or listening, if you just turn this on and like walked away because you're like, God, these two guys are just ugly, and they kind of suck. Yeah, Dean, we got to get you on, man. We got to get you on the podcast. I want to talk about Epic. I want to find out, like, you have such a great story. There's such a great story there, how he got involved in the cigar industry, how he started Epic. It's just this great adventure. So I want people to know that story.
The dude doesn't rest, though.
He is the hardest working guy in the cigar industry, hands down.
He doesn't rest at all. He just goes. So he'll be like, because we've reached out to him and he's like, oh yeah, let's do this. And then something comes up and, you know, and I get it. Hey, you got to make your dollar. You got to, I mean, that's number one, make your dollar.
So if you know Dean Parsons, like, tell him, hey, get on Simply Stogie's podcast. Because I definitely want to talk to him and get the story out there. And Epic has such great cigars, especially at the price point that Epic has them priced at. Like, holy geez.
Yeah.
It's just, it's fantastic. So let's end this episode better than we started it.
Which I don't think is going to take a whole lot.
Probably not. Give me your final thoughts, because you're there in about, maybe a little more than halfway through.
So, again, when I first wet the tip, I had to. I did get that sweetness, and I don't care if you say it's not flavored or not, but something is done to create that sweetness. I don't know what it is. The cigar started off a very good mild. It gradually built up into almost a medium, like right on the edge of that medium. It's pretty good. I don't know for sure if the retail price point that I paid for this stick is right for it, but it is a good stick.
It is a good stick. A little sweet. My father, like I said, it's always solid. I think the Connecticut is great in the morning. Pairs well with coffee. If you haven't tried a My Father Connecticut and you like a mild to medium plus cigar, because this ramps up, give it a shot. Give it a shot. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with another cigars and coffee, hopefully from Habano in Davenport.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that.
All right. So there you go, guys.
Yeah, we haven't been there for a while. Well, you have.
Yeah. Make sure you go to simplystogies.com. Check out all of the great content we've got there. Pipe tobacco reviews. We've got cigar reviews. We've got lounge reviews. We'll probably get some B-roll, as they call it in the biz.
Of this?
Of the lounge.
Okay,
of
yeah,
David.
I was going to say, because that's pretty much all this is B-roll.
This is definitely the B team showed up this morning.
Yeah.
That's my fault. I'm so tired.
At least you got something.
My kid wouldn't sleep last night. She decided to come in the room. I can't sleep when the kid's in the room. I'm so tired. And then my coffee maker. When you clean a Keurig, you got to use apple cider vinegar, and then my coffee tastes like apple cider vinegar. CreativeBrainCandy.com. Check out all the great content at CreativeBrainCandy.com. If you are into video games and you want to get into podcasting, Bad Gamers Anonymous is still looking for 2 new hosts. So check that out. You can click the apply button. And we've got some great Simply Stogies swag if you click the merch button at the top. So that's it. That's going to do it for me. I'm James.
I'm Tim.
And we'll catch you later, guys. Stay smoky, friends.